Making changes, lawmakers return to Richmond with a focus on the pandemic and police reform. We're going to tell you what they're working on.
Emergency restrictions continue. People in Chesterfield County have been conserving water for more than 24 hours now. We'll tell you when the county says things might get back to normal.
Back to school safety. Some students across Central Virginia will return to school this fall for classes. What doctors say they have to do to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
Working for you. This is CBS 6 This Morning.
Well, hi there, and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, August 18th. I'm Rob Cardwell.
And I'm Reba Hollingsworth. We have a lot to get to this morning. Shannon will have a check on the roads for us coming up in a few minutes. She's in for Kristen this morning. But first, let's go outside to Tom Patton. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, you guys. Everything going all right this morning at 6 o'clock?
Yeah, how about you?
Just dandy, just dandy. We had that rain yesterday. Did not want to see that, did we? But we had to deal with it. And as we're going to deal with it today, I got the old pitching wedge out this morning. You may ask why. Why? Well, it's because we got a lot of mushrooms growing, and there's no better way to practice that swing than to take a shot at the mushrooms on the ground. That's what I like doing. It's a good way to get rid of them. Probably makes things worse, actually. All right, clear skies out here right now this morning, 67 degrees. It's comfortable. We've got a lot of moisture in the ground, so that's going to make it humid at ground level this morning if you're out running around. But overall, it's sort of coolish. 61 back in Louisa, mid-60s up in Atlee to start our day today. We do have some areas of fog still. Amelia, Lunenburg, Buckingham, Charlotte County, around parts of Brunswick, some dense fog. But outside of that, nothing really bad around the metro. 87 today, partly sunny skies, good-looking day. No rain expected today. All right, our chances do increase again tomorrow, so we'll take you through that hour by hour coming up. Guys?
All right, thank you, Tom. County leaders in Chesterfield County say the emergency water restrictions put in place this week could last for several days. Parts of Chesterfield saw nearly 10 inches of rain over the weekend, causing what county leaders say was historic flooding near Swift Creek and Falling Creek. Well, that water flooded out 2 of the 3 water supplies in the county, leading to those water restrictions for essential uses only. County leaders are stressing that the drinking water is safe and the remaining water supply can sustain the county if everybody conserves water.
It starts getting warmer and people start using irrigation more, we will not have enough supply in the system. So it's really important for our customers to go out there and turn off their irrigation systems.
Yeah, you don't need to water your lawns, folks. Officials say the repairs to one of those pumps should only take a few days, and then they can lift the water usage restrictions.
A suspicious death investigation is underway in Chesterfield. Police tell us a man was stabbed. It happened around 6 p.m. near the 3300 block of Main Street. Police were called there for reports of a man lying in the yard. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The victim is identified as 30-year-old Antoine Bowers of Petersburg. Police say they do not have anyone in custody at this time. They say the community is not at risk and the investigation is ongoing.
Virginia lawmakers will reconvene in Richmond today for a special legislative session.
Yeah, but they won't be meeting at the state capitol. Gabrielle Harmon joins us live at the Science Museum, where some lawmakers will gather in just a few hours. Gabrielle.
Good morning. Senators will be meeting at the Science Museum here behind me. And just a few blocks down on Broad Street, delegates will be meeting at the Siegel Center. Today, a slew of bills will be discussed, some centered around the state budget due to the pandemic. Others will be focusing on criminal and social justice reform. Those bills include the Marcus Alert, crisis intervention training, and prohibiting chokeholds. Other bills related to the monuments, and that'll be focusing on the waiting period for when localities can do anything with them. Another bill involving marijuana will be discussed, and that will focus on whether police can search your car based off of smell. Other bills will be centered around the coronavirus. This week, a new coalition was launched ahead of today's session in hopes that the General Assembly will pass 2 paid sick leave bills. One bill would focus on 40 hours for regular health issues, and another would focus on 80 hours in relation to COVID-19. And with these 2 measures, there have been some people for it and some people against it.
It's easy to tell people to quarantine for 14 days, but if you don't have a safety net or, extra savings or a way to get paid, it's basically futile.
When you mandate a one-size-fits-all program, it's really hard for businesses to adapt, especially in today's economic climate.
Today's special session is set to begin at 9:30 this morning, and the House Speaker is hoping to have a majority of the session virtually. Working for you, Gabrielle Harmon, CBS 6 News.
A lot to comb through. All right, thanks, Gabrielle.
Well, at the state capitol, an open carry rally is planned for today in protest of the special session. A Facebook event says it's organized by a group called Virginia Militia. That group says they're planning to meet at Bank and 10th Streets right in front of the Capitol at 9 a.m. and then march towards the Siegel Center. And a socially distant motorcade rally is also planned for today. It's organized by Virginia Educators United. People will meet at Carver Elementary School in Richmond at 11 o'clock and line up, and then they'll complete laps around the Siegel Center and the Science Museum, where lawmakers will be working today.
Some students in our area will go back to school for in-person learning. Local experts are now sharing advice for keeping children safe. Here in Virginia, experts say of all the children who have gotten coronavirus, only 1% has been hospitalized. But pediatric ER Dr. Kevin Conley predicts we'll see an uptick in cases soon. While many larger school districts are planning a virtual-only start to the school year, other schools, including private schools, plan to offer a hybrid of in-person and online classes. For those students, Conley says socially distancing guidelines are important.
Reminding kids to try to stay away from each other, trying not to touch other students, maintaining distance as best they can, wearing a mask. If you send your kids to school, send them with a couple masks. Send them with their own little bottle of hand sanitizer in case they can't get to the bathroom to wash their hands. Those are little things that are going to help.
Health Director Dr. Danny Avula says he has been in constant contact with school and college leaders. While he predicts there will be an increase in cases, he hopes the cases will be isolated to the low-risk population. And a reminder for Henrico students, rising first graders, and all other students in grades 2nd through 5th who still need a Chromebook can pick one up now through Thursday. Next week, pre-K and kindergarten students will be getting iPads. Specific pickup instructions for students will be communicated by each school.
6:06 right now. You know, in the traffic world, green maps mean good news. Let's find out.
Exactly, yes. That is good news, Rob. You're exactly right. Really, the only thing we're seeing major on the interstate right now, just a breakdown here on 95 North at I-64 West as you're heading into the Bryant Park interchange. It has the right shoulder closed, so be sure you're moving over to allow crews the time they need to work. All right, we are still seeing road closures, though, due to flooding. Here in Prince George County, we're seeing a road closure on Old Town Road. That means Old Town Road is closed right here where I've marked off in between Pole Run Road down here and Centennial Road, so it stretches a good ways. You won't be able to pass through. There's also flooding that we've told you about here in Chesterfield on Lewis Road at Bradley Bridge Road. That road is also closed. And then just east of 95 here, we're seeing flooding on Ruffin Mill Road at Ruffin Mill Circle, so still a good bit of flooding, especially in the southern part of the region. In Prince George County, we're seeing a road closure on Baxter Road at Courthouse Road, also due to flooding there as well. Now, we do have a modular roundabout project that's been going on since about last week, couple weeks now. And so you may notice that if you live in Chesterfield here on Bailey Bridge Road at Spring Run Road. That's where they're installing the project. This will be complete by mid-September. Reba, Rob?
All right, thanks. You know, with all the rain that we've had lately, especially if you're in an area like Chesterfield County, you may have experienced some flooding in your home. The local business Crawl Space Medic Richmond says that they've been extra busy lately with people having issues just like this due to the rain, and they've seen an uptick in calls following this weekend's flooding. Greg Bahant owns the business. He says there are some things you can do to prevent flooding from ever happening down in your crawl space. First of all, make sure your gutter downspouts are diverted away from the home as far as possible. If you don't have gutters, then try to make sure the water dropping off of the roof travels away from the home somehow so it doesn't end up pooling down there in the crawl space.
Even though you might have exterior ways to try to reduce the likelihood you have water coming into your house, majority of it is because the groundwater table is rising. And so putting in drains and sump pumps are key to making sure that you have a dry crawl space or a dry basement.
Now, overall, Bahant says it's important that you or a professional is performing regular maintenance on your crawl space. But if you're already experiencing some flooding issues, then it's best to call a professional and then get in touch with a restoration service depending on the damage.
When Isaias came through the Commonwealth as a tropical storm, a private road in Prince George County, it just caved in.
Well, it left several families trapped with no way out until the road was repaired. Our Matthew Foltz surprised one of the families as part of our CBS 6 Gives.
Well, our CBS 6 Gives brings us down here to Prince George County. A few weeks ago, I shared a story of how one man and several of his neighbors are now trapped after Hurricane Isaias washed out their private road, leaving it impassable. Now we're here to give them some good news.
The price came in like we expected, over $50,000.
At CBS 6, we do CBS 6 Gives, where we give back to the community, those in need. And while we don't have $50,000, I do have a little small something just that we want to give you.
That's awesome. I'm not sure I have the words for that, but next question, how you gonna get it to me?
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
What I'll do is figure out a way, everybody will get an equal share. We'll pay it forward and get out of this mess. We will pay it forward. So.
Golly day, so nice that we can help them out,
yes.
but man, you just feel bad for them, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Man, all this rain, it's just nasty. And I said this earlier, I'm out here hitting mushrooms. There's so many different fungi growing out here, and it's just funky. In between the flowers in our garden over here, typically August, September is when we start to see these, but man, I remember we had sort of a wet June also, and mushrooms were growing way back then also, but this has been excessive. Let's talk about where we stand with rainfall at this point. We're number 2, of course. Yesterday we picked up another 1/4 inch at the airport, which puts us over 15 now. So we're about 1.22 inches away from the official wettest all-time August, since records were kept back in about 1870. So it takes us back about 150 years or so already, my goodness. So we do have more rain in the forecast tomorrow. I think today is dry, but tomorrow we'll see more thunderstorms rolling through. So we'll show you that with the hour by hour coming up. Rob Reba, back to you.
All right, thanks, Tom. The Democratic Party kicked off the first virtual major party convention in U.S. history last night. Night 1 featured speeches from leaders and musical performances. We're going to tell you what you missed and tell you about the campaign stops the president held in response.
And pizza problems. We'll tell you about the national pizza chain that's closing hundreds of locations and why some places are having trouble keeping one particular topping on the menu.
Here's today's James River Air Comfort Report.
James River Air stands ready with solutions to keep you safe and comfortable.
Stay comfortable. Call James River Air. Virginia State Police investigating more child abuse allegations at Cumberland Children's Hospital after a mother says her disabled son was injured.
Going into the break room, heating up water, and pouring it on Jackson intentionally. How could someone hurt my child that way?
Laura French with a Problem Solvers investigation. Tonight at 11.
I would like to see the whole place either shut down or revamped from top to bottom.
Hi, I'm Joel Bieber. I wake up ready to come to you. If you've been hurt, call the Joel Bieber firm right now or go to joelbieber.com. Let us come to you.
Call Joel Bieber. Stop what you're doing, because you're going to want to hear this. It's your turn to sell us your car. Small cars, big cars, green cars, blue cars, classics, clunkers, even if it has a few dents in the bumper. Haley Automotive will buy it from you, and we'll pay top dollar for it. Just bring it into any one of our 10 locations and get an instant offer. Oh, and if you just so happen to be in the market for a new car, we do trades too.
Haley has it.
Yes, we do.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
The Summer of Savings event is still going at your local Ford store, but it won't last long. Find the hottest deals on great Ford vehicles with available Waze, Wi-Fi, hybrid technology, head-up display, and more. Summer is short. Enjoy the savings. And now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup, backed by the Ford Promise. See dealer for details.
The CBS 6 Backyard Weather Center, sponsored by CMA's Colonial Honda, where owners just do more. Buy the vehicle you want, how you want, from where you want, with CMA's easy purchase at CMA'sColonialHonda.com.
You're in an accident and the insurance company wants you to sign some papers. Is it a release of your medical privacy? Does it release your claim? Call me for help before you sign. The Joel Bieber Firm.
Call Joel Bieber. Now from CBS 6, the Weather Authority, meteorologist Tom Patton.
All right, good morning from all the Venusians up there watching us on the planet Venus this morning. Man, a good looking view this morning of Venus. I've had Venus and Mars all morning long to enjoy. Now the sunrise coming up, and that's going to wash that out here shortly, but looking good. There's the Millionaire Cam. Sun officially up today at 627. All right, let's talk about the temperatures. This is some crazy stuff going on in our country right now. We're in the 60s around here, nothing too bad. Same deal with the east, all east of the Mississippi, about average this morning. But man, you go out to the west and you look at areas like Las Vegas and Phoenix, and don't forget it's 3 hours difference there, so it's a little bit after 3 in the morning, and they're in the mid-90s yet. Out in the desert this morning, mid-90s, and then you just go a little farther west toward the Pacific Ocean, 60s for San Francisco. California current keeps things cold over there, so a bit on the chillier side, but a big difference between parts of LA and Las Vegas and Phoenix this morning. All right, Rob, back to you.
All right, thank you, Tom. Weather-related news here at 6:15. Weather out in the west is bringing fire and ice in some areas. In California, an outbreak of wildfires threatening thousands of homes. State power officials say more than 3 million homes could face rolling blackouts. In fact, last night, 300,000 Californians were left in the dark after power was cut to save energy. In drought-stricken Colorado, more massive fires burning through more than 125,000 acres. And look at this. This is video from parts of Arizona where they were pummeled with hail.
The Democratic National Convention is now underway, taking place mostly virtual because of the pandemic. The first virtual convention in U.S. history included a succession of speakers who took aim at President Trump, especially his handling of the coronavirus outbreak. The political speeches were broken up by musical performances and guest interviews. George Floyd's brothers led a moment of silence for victims of police violence. The night ended with a speech from former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head.
Now, earlier in the day on Monday, President Trump was in Wisconsin, where the Democratic convention is based.
Joe Biden has no enthusiasm. No enthusiasm. And you don't win without enthusiasm.
The Republicans will hold their convention next week. Tonight, the Democrats will conduct the official roll call of the state delegations. Former President Bill Clinton and Biden's wife, Dr. Jill Biden, will both speak.
Well, up to 300 Pizza Hut locations are falling by the wayside, folks. One of the chain's biggest franchises, NPC International, filed for bankruptcy last month. And then on Monday, NPC announced an agreement with Pizza Hut's owner to close about a quarter of its restaurants. Other NPC locations will be sold. Now, that announcement didn't say which locations will be closed or when, but Pizza Hut said that those 300 restaurants perform significantly under par. NPC has a debt of about $1 billion. And more trouble for you pizza lovers out there. Smaller pizza shops are facing a shortage of pepperoni. They're blaming it on surging prices, not necessarily because they can't get it. The small shops say pepperoni is costing them up to 50% more than last year, but the larger chains, the Papa John's, Domino's, even Pizza Hut, they're not seeing the price hike because their costs are set in long-term contracts.
I need the pepperoni, extra cheese and pepperoni.
It's not a pizza without pepperoni, if you ask me, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're going to ask some people on Facebook that question. Well, summer may be winding down, but we're still saluting seniors. Today, we feature Timothy Morris from Cosby High School. Find out where his high school classes are taking him. That's in our senior salute.
An up-close and personal interaction with a bison at Yellowstone National Park goes really wrong. We'll show you what happens when this animal gets close to a car.
Take a peek outside this morning. We have Tom. He's going to be back with his full forecast, and Shannon will have a look at the roads for us coming up.
Here's today's James River Air Comfort Report.
James River Air stands ready with solutions to keep you safe and comfortable.
Stay comfortable. Call James River Air.
At Subaru of Richmond, you always get more. More support for local charities and a healthy and safe environment for you. We're offering no down payment and 0% financing on all Foresters for 63 months during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Perfect lawn and more time to enjoy your yard. Robotic mowers by Steel.
Richmond is a beer town, and we are beer people. Our city has gone from 2 breweries to almost 40 in the last decade. The good thing is, when you say support local, it involves drinking some of the best beer in the country.
There are so many great craft beers available when you shop. The impact of choosing local when you buy beer and how it directly helps to create jobs benefits your neighbors and keeps your money invested in our local economy. Whether on the shelf or on the taps, buying local keeps more money in your hometown.
Shop Haley Chevrolet and leave happy.
We want to make this process as simple and transparent as possible.
They truly are trying to get it right for the customer.
I think it's extremely rewarding to see someone leave here happy.
And with over 175 Chevys to choose from, plus our huge savings, you'll leave very happy. So, shop Haley Chevrolet at 288 and Hull Street.
We're here to help you guys out.
Haley has it.
Yes, yes we do.
The exhilaration of movement grows more precious every day. It's so important for your health and for your spirit to keep moving. Sheltering Arms Active Aging Services gives you the ability to take that next step. Whether you're recovering from illness and injury or seeking to prevent it, at Sheltering Arms, we help you live life to the fullest at any age. Choose the power to overcome. Choose Sheltering Arms.
At Subaru of Richmond, you always get more. More support for local charities and a healthy and safe environment for you. We're offering no down payment and 0% financing on all 2020 Outbacks for 63 months during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Buy now and save with 0% financing for 72 months on select new inventory at Witten Brothers.
Good morning. Our ground remains saturated this morning after another round of rain made it through the metro yesterday. We picked up about 1/4 of an inch at the airport. Man, but some areas just south of town really got dumped on, and north. I'll show you that coming up in a bit. Nice sunrise this morning. We should have a partly to mostly sunny sky. 67 degrees outside right now. Today's looking dry. How about that? A little bit of a cool start. But don't forget all this ground moisture if you're out working or running around. It's going to become quite humid for you today. 60s across the Commonwealth. Today, 80s, mid to upper 80s for us. Partly sunny. No rain expected today. No rain expected today. So let's take a day to dry out. I don't think I'm going to be able to cut my grass. It's going to be too long. Not sure what to do. The mower won't quite make it do that either. And we've got to probably wait until next week in many cases when we can string together a few drier days. This is yesterday's rain. It came with just a few swaths, but man, I tell you what, where it hit hard. We had about 2 inches in Petersburg, Colonial Heights area, Matoaka, 1.9 in parts of Prince George, about 0.8 western Chesterfield. You go down Hall Street Road, back toward that area, Winterpark, got some pretty heavy rain. Woodlake, 1.9 parts of Powhatan, 1.2 Cumberland, and up to the north, Spotsylvania, about an inch, 1.4 in Caroline, and look at that, Northern Neck. Parts of the Middle Peninsula got some fair rain. Mostly clear to partly cloudy this morning, a little boundary south of us right now. Today's heaviest rain comes out of Long Island this morning and now into parts of eastern Massachusetts up into Cape Cod and some of those areas, but that's kind of moving away. Our hour-by-hour forecast, we'll see some cumulus clouds building by the afternoon and a couple showers, I think, mainly toward the far western Piedmont and Blue Ridge. Same deal with tonight. Our next best chance for the metro area comes tomorrow. Here's tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. We'll see a line of showers and storms moving through the area, and that again could contain some heavy rainfall. So I think today, those of us here in the metro area get to dry out. But tomorrow it comes back. Same deal with Thursday and Friday. Saturday, I think the chance will be around. It's going to be a lot lower. Same deal with Sunday. And then I think next Monday and perhaps even Tuesday and Wednesday of next week could potentially be dry. So if Saturday's pretty sporadic, same with Sunday, we could catch 4 or 5 dry days in a row, which would be great. Reva and Rob, back to you.
All right, thanks. Coming up on 6:25 here, mating season is just starting for bison in Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, and that means males can get a little aggressive. Take a look. Whoa. Yeah, that is the moment a bison charges a visitor's car, ramming into the side of it and popping their tire. You can hear that collision there. The person on the passenger side got it all on camera. Now, in another video, you can see just how large these animals are. So you don't want to go toe-to-toe with the bison.
Man, what
Just
was
stay
he
in the car.
thinking? Like, you looking at my girlfriend?
Right.
What you looking at?
What are you looking at?
I don't think he was having a good day. I don't know. I'm glad that they were in the car. Let's say that. Let's say
But could they go anywhere if they popped a tire?
That's true. Then you're trapped there with an angry bison. What do you do? Oh my gosh. Maybe not the time to go there. I don't know. All right, here's a look at real-time traffic around the region. Interstates are looking good this morning, but we are seeing some problems off the interstate. We have another report of a tree down, this in western Henrico on Pouncey Tract Road. So we'll take you into the area here where we're seeing it. Here's Pouncey Tract Road, that's 271. It's right at Bauman Court. Now, I did speak with police. They say that crews are on scene. They're directing traffic. They're not sure if the entire road is closed or if cars are able to move around, but of course, as soon as we get an update, we'll let you know. Just may want to avoid the area if you can. We also are seeing some areas of flooding still. Prince George County Old Town Road is closed due to flooding. So here's a closer look here into the region. No real-time traffic here, but Old Town Road is closed all the way from Pole Run Road to Centennial Road up here. So a little bit closed in that area, so you might want to just avoid the area there as well. We're also seeing a road closure in Chesterfield at Lewis Road at Bradley Bridge Road. That's also due to flooding. And then just east of 95, watch for flooding here on Ruffin Mill Road at Ruffin Mill Circle. That road is closed as well. Rob?
Well, it's time for a senior salute. CBS 6's way of recognizing this year's graduating seniors from high schools all across the state of Virginia. And this morning, we'd like to recognize Timothy Morris, a senior from Cosby High School. His family say that they're very proud of all he's accomplished. Before his academic year was cut short due to the pandemic, he enjoyed advanced graphic design classes, and Timothy aspires to continue his path in graphic design. We wish you the best, Timothy. If you'd like to recognize a graduating high school senior this year, send your submissions to newstips@WTVR.com.
Congratulations, Timothy. A hearing on the Robert E. Lee Monument is scheduled for today. What Attorney General Mark Herring is trying to do with the lawsuit filed by a group of people living on Monument Avenue.